What?
Hello, everybody. It's Android Coliseum, and it's our Friday night hangout. This is Friday night hangout number 17. For those of you who are keeping score, it is February, 22nd, 2013. And, oh, I hit that YouTube link somewhere. Kill that. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So here we are, Android Coliseum, our Friday night hangout. This is a chance for us to talk about Android and talk about the news from the past week. This week we're a little bit short on numbers. Just a couple people are not able to make it tonight. Tom, we hope things are okay with April tonight. Mark's on his way home now, and Brandon's a little bit busy at the moment. So who is here with us? Well, I'll start from the far side of the screen. I have Sylvain Lebouris, writer here at the Android Coliseum. We have guest with us today, Sivan Rehan. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
I think every time I ask your name, I have to say.
Doesn't matter, really.
Okay. And then myself, Ryan Moore, writer here at Android Coliseum. And then, last but not least, we have Cass Morrison, writer here at Android Coliseum. So we're here to talk about Android tonight. And for those of you who this is the first time you've seen this, what we've done is we've made an agenda online in the Google Docs. So if you look into the and I'll put it in the YouTube link, and I'll put it a bunch of other places. So follow along, talk about, let's see what sort of topics we're going on. If you have a comment or something you'd like to discuss, by all means, catch us. Send us a message via Google Talk. Send us a message via Facebook, via the YouTube account, the event on Google+, the page on Google+, as many ways as we can. We want to get your thoughts and comments as we go through this. Once we hit the 1 hour mark, we're going to go off air, and then we're going to let you guys come in and have a discussion with us as well. So if there's anything we might have missed that you want to talk about, we'll hold that on to the off air portion. But other than that, let's get into it. So, past week, it's been a busy week. For those of you like me in Ontario, and I think Cass and Sylvain, you guys were saying it, had Family Day. Sylvain, do you guys have Family Day in Quebec there?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we have Family Day. Saint Jean-Baptiste Day. So, for those of us who've had the recent Family Day event, this 4-day week has been kind of hectic and busy, and I always hate missing the Monday on a week, so we're catching up, it feels like, this week. And one of the things that we started the week off with was Tuesday we had the launch of the HTC One, which is an interesting new little phone. I was kind of interested in it. I have a little small spot in my heart for the HTC lineup just because they were some of the first Android phones in Canada that we were able to get our hands on. I remember getting that debate between do I get the Google, the HTC Dream, do I get the HTC Magic? Which one's going to be better for me? Who knows? But it was a great start. So HTC One, first off, I thought it was a bit of a name drop, the fact that they went from an HTC One X, and there was an HTC One X Plus, or One XS, to just go back to an HTC One was kind of weird, kind of very reminiscent of the old Nexus One, a very simple name to go to, but it felt like a step backwards. Spec-wise, if you looked at it, a quad-core phone, 2 gigs of RAM, didn't really stand out. 1080p, sort of stuff you expected out of a phone. 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes was, definitely something we wanted to get our hands onto. But what was really interesting, I think, from my point of view, was that it was a 4-megapixel camera. 4 megapixels. Oh, wait, not megapixels. It's an ultra pixel. So if you go take a look at what an ultra pixel is, it just means that the pixel itself is bigger. And that means it lets in more light, and that means you get a sharper picture and less what they call signal-to-noise ratio. And that was, I think, a big advantage. And back when I used to sell cameras, getting a device that actually has a larger sensor would definitely beat out anything with a larger megapixel count. So I'll throw it to you guys. Anybody interested in the HTC One or the HTC One? Who's looking for that?
I'm not looking into it, but I'm interested in the camera because, as we all know, the Nexus line lags with the cameras. And I think, anyway, for the next one, they need, to do a big step up.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I remember we're getting the 1X, and I was blown away by the 1X's camera. I mean, they were really touting that thing, and it was actually really, really great camera. One of the first with a really good zero shutter lag. So a really good camera. And we've all heard the rumors that, Vic and Dotra has been dropping hints that the next Nexus is going to wow us. It's going to be an amazing camera in this device.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So this is Vic and Dotra. This is Google, right? This is the Android guy out there. So he knows what he's talking about, I'm assuming. So the idea behind it, of him being able to say it's going to have a wowing thing. Next Nexus with a really great camera, and then we have an ultra pixel release. Is another HTC Nexus in the line, or is it time for somebody else besides Samsung?
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Well, LG has done it. I mean, they could go to
LG.
Sony. Sony has very good cameras as well. Like they have a lot of camera technology.
Yeah, the Exmor sensor and the Sony. I mean, Sony's been doing cameras for years before they did PDAs, right? So, who knows? I mean, but we also heard Motorola is supposed to this new X phone. Now they said X, not Nexus phone, right? X phone, but who knows? Again, it's always speculation. So leading into speculation, coming out tomorrow, for those of you who like to watch the blogosphere and all things Android, is Mobile World Congress, MWC, in Barcelona. So I think it's a 2-day or 3-day basically conference, big trade show like CES, but just for phone technology. So what do we expect to see at this thing? And international stuff, right? So you get to see everything. So really cool stuff. I remember, was it last year that they had to pull the Galaxy Tab line out of thing because of the lawsuits, if I remember correctly? So there was that. It was interesting last year. So this year, obviously, we're going to see more about the HTC One. You're going to get more hands-on with it. We're going to see it in action probably. We're going to really see this new Optimus G Pro, the 5.5-inch phablet, minus the pen. So this new Optimus G Pro, which is, I think, a really good step for LG to be starting to make these upper quality devices. I mean, really bring their name back to something we can respect. What else is going to be? There's the
Note 8.0.
Note
The Note 8 will be there.
We talked about the Intel chip phones, so like that Motorola Razr I that was out. We're also probably going to see this new Tegra 4i chip. So a lot of neat little things. I mean, who knows? We might see some more information about flexible screens. We might see more information about. I saw something today about talking about flexible camera sensors. So stuff like that. So interesting stuff. You know me, I'm a bit of an OCD guy, so when I get to hear about these kinds of things, just like I did with CES, I kept a database going of all the devices we'll see. So watch the blog. I won't be able to do it live, but I mean, I will keep a database of anything we see that we think is cool that's Android related, and let you guys know about that. So watch the blog. We'll be keeping doing that.
Yeah, Ryan, you were just mentioning about the flexible screen. Are you guys interested in that?
Well, for flexible screens, here's my take on it, and this is, obviously it's my opinion. I don't think we're going to see the bendable screens anytime soon. You're not going to get your phone and get a bendable screen anytime soon. I think you're going to see it's the fact that it's just more durable. So that if you drop it, it's flexible in the fact that it won't break. It'll bend, but it's not going to break the device.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but when they show, they take the screen and go like this.
But what's the
We're
use
not
for
going to
that?
see that? Oh, I don't know.
I want the one that'll pull out.
Exactly, I don't know.
You want what was that movie? What was that movie?
No, I just want the one that's a bar. It's a phone. It's a bar. When you're at your desk, you can pull it apart and you have a screen that comes out. Like a roller blind. Roller blind. That is what I would like.
Yeah, you never know. That might come out. I mean, what I have seen what kind of Sylvanus talking about is the fact that, but I think those right now are just the display technology only, right? So the whole phone with a radio and a processor chip is somewhere else. What they never show you when they show you that flexible screen is the little box they have sitting over here that has all the microchips and all that other parts in it, right? That can't be flexible. But You never know. You never know what's going to happen with them. So maybe it's something like those pull-out ones that you might see. So, okay. So other things that have just recently rolled out that we might be seeing more of. Obviously, those of you with the Nexus 4, Nexus 7, Nexus 10 have seen 4.2.2 rollout. So that's an OTA update. You can get it off the air, or you can go and sideload it yourself if you want to flash it. Last week, I was really, I got the update. I was really happy about it. I didn't realize until after the Hangout, I lost root doing that. When you do the OTA, you lose root.
Yeah,
it re-puts on.
It happened to me with the Galaxy Nexus, so I knew already.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I spent a good, most of Saturday and part of Sunday trying to figure out, well, how did that happen? And then trying to make sure I got the root back. And that took me a while. Because 4.2.2, you need the new SDK to do the root. You need to make sure you have the proper driver. And I'm so not really used to Windows anymore in terms of the technical aspect of it for drivers and stuff. So when I applied the driver, I forgot to reboot my computer, and I was like, why is it not working? So, and that's actually, as Sivan was actually asking me today, like, how do we do this? How do you get the root? Because she has her dad's Nexus 4, and she wants to do the update.
I wasn't planning to root it, but because of the LTE issue, I'll have no choice.
So yeah, because the 4.2.2 loses LTE, but in order to get it back, you have to flash the old radio, which I've done, and I can confirm that it works. I mean, we talked about last week as well. So I was actually putting together a quick little guide in terms of how to re-root or re-obtain root on your Nexus 4.2.2 device. So I provided it for Sivan, and then I'm going to make a little article for it and give you guys a chance to see. So in case those of you who haven't done it yet want to try it out. So now, again, speaking of the Nexus 4 and accessories for the Nexus devices, the really cool thing I thought when we looked at this Nexus 4 was that it's going to have wireless charging. How cool is that? That was going to be, I think, the ultimate neat feature that this would have. I mean, like, I was a big Palm fan, so being able to do that, the little touchstone for Palm, I wanted to do it with my Android. So the Orb came out, and when it first came out, it said on the website that, it's not available for sale just yet. Then it said it's not available in your country. And now when you go and take a look at it, it now says nothing. You can't even find the link for it anymore. You don't see it.
Oh, really?
So it's all but disappeared. So are we getting the short end of this stick here?
As usual?
The Canucks, as usual.
But is it just us, or is it just not available to anybody now?
Or is it just available in the U.S.?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen if it's just available in the U.S. or not. To be honest with you, I could care less because I want to just know about Canada and Canada only. The Yanks can figure out their own thing, but we want to make sure we get our devices right. So if there's no Orb, I mean, yes, there's a bunch of other QI technology chargers, the Qi chargers out there, but it's kind of nice to have the actual official device. So, I mean, who has an Nexus 4? I know, Sivan, you have the one for your father that you're using.
Yeah, I really wanted to buy it for him to thank him for letting me use it for a few months. And I was disappointed that it wasn't available.
Now, would you have bought one for yourself, though? Like, if you had the
Nexus 4. Someone brought up
a
good point that you can't really use the phone and charge it at the same time if it's wireless. So usually if I'm by my bed and the battery's low and I'm using it before going to bed, I need it to charge at the same time. But it would be useful at work, let's say. It's on my desk, I just put it on and let it charge. So I would probably buy it because it's cool, but I would take it to work. I won't use it at home.
Yeah, it's a very slow charger. Somebody sent me a link of the one that they have for their car. And they had in the car a wireless charger, and it was just super slow charging. That if he was doing
slower, because I read that it's faster.
No, wireless is slower. I mean, there's a degree of efficiency lost to go wireless, right? So, as far as I understand, he was saying that if he was doing, let's say, GPS navigation on it, it wasn't charging nearly as fast as it could do. Like, it was actually draining faster than it was charging. So, but again, it's cool to have. But there are other options out there. There's that Energizer power mat that I think is achieve available. And then something I'll talk about later is the tilt charger. I'm looking forward to that one. That's a very cool looking one as well. So there are other options if we find out we end up getting screwed. So I hope not. That would really suck. But here's hoping we actually do get a chance to watch it. So, more topics. Amazon app is now available in Canada. So now this isn't the Amazon App Store where I can get apps from the Amazon and get the free app of the day thing. This is just the Amazon Store app. So if I want to buy something online, and I can do it from my phone. So that's available. And something we found out just before the Hangout was that it's not available for tablets. It's seems to be for phones only. So how many people really buy stuff on Amazon? Anybody? Cassie saying you buy some on Amazon? Sylvain, you buy some?
Very often.
Sylvain, you buy much?
Only a few books, once in a while, but
I buy everything, electronics.
I don't buy much there. The last thing was the little dongle that you just plug into your phone to plug a USB key in it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I bought something for my father in there recently because he bought the Tab 270. And so I bought him a case and charger. What was really nice is that I could buy a bunch of different things from different people and under the same bill and send it. So you end up getting 3 different parcels. But it was one. It's like 3 different sellers, but I buy it from one store, right? So that's kind of.
I like their customer service, so I prefer to buy from them because if something goes wrong, the service is very good. I bought something and it broke. I actually broke it, but I called them. I said, "Listen, it broke." They said, "No problem. We'll send you a new one. Just send it back." In the same box, no questions asked.
My wife's been saying she's been really liking hers, like buying online. She's like finding the obscure things online, and so she really likes that.
Yeah,
so
there was. I was gonna say that was last week after the Hangout. I was looking with Brandon about and Cass, a new battery for my Nexus and the 3800. So I almost bought it, but when I saw what it looks like, it's so big. I'm not buying that.
All right, so that's now available in Canada, and there's been some other things that for the App Store, or for the Amazon Store, like Cruiserlight now apparently is available for Canadians. So anyways, on to the next topic. We had a poll this past week, and I like to do polls once a week and ask everybody a question and find out who's doing what. Part of it's because I like stats and figures and numbers, and I'm just mathematically inclined that way. I like data. But the other part of it is I like to know in case I'm missing something. Is there something I'm not doing as best as I can? I like finding ways to share your stories with us here. And this past week I asked you guys, do you use a security app? So before I give some preliminary results, who here uses a security app on their phone?
Well, I have Lookout installed, but Samsung also has their service, their Samsung Dive. So as long as I log in, they'll be able to find my device.
Okay. So you have something.
Yep.
What about like just even gesture locking or face unlocking their phone? Or is it just slide to unlock?
Is that considered a
No, I have
security
a
app?
pin.
I have a pin.
You have a pin? You have a pin?
I have a pin.
Also, I have,
Yeah.
we have Google Apps at work, so if I lose my phone, it can be wiped through that.
Yeah, so the authenticator program, yeah. Personally, I don't. I actually don't. I've been thinking about doing what Cass showed off that one time, that Wi-Fi unlock, so that so long as I'm in a trusted Wi-Fi zone, I don't have to. Because chances are, if I'm in at home, I don't really care about if somebody picks up my phone and uses it, right? And if I'm at work, I don't care if I pick up my phone and use it. It's when I go somewhere else, or I leave it somewhere else, that if somebody picks it up, I don't want them to use it. So I'm thinking I might take a look at that, because I use nothing currently.
So your phone is unlocked all the time?
Yeah, you could just pick it up and just slide unlock it.
Wow.
What if someone finds it or loses it?
What if someone decides to buy a bunch of stuff?
Well, I have it pin protected in the Play Store. because we found out from the hard way. My son went on my wife's phone and was playing Angry Birds and bought a ton of those extra Millennium Falcons, like $30 worth, just because they're like, oh, button here, click, and it's just a one-button purchase, right? So it's an in-app purchase.
But did you think about Amazon.ca, buy all, pay with credit card in memory there?
I don't think I have it set up on my Amazon. Now that you're saying that, I'm going to get rid of the Amazon app. But no, yeah. But I mean, like technically, if I left it somewhere, I could lose. Somebody could pick up my phone and check through my work email, check through my personal emails, check through my pictures, and check through everything. So it's a wide open thing right for me right now. Now, I'm anal retentive in the fact that I keep my phone usually within one arm's reach. It's never like I actually get very uptight if it's more than a few feet away from me. So, but is there a way something else? So let's go take a look at before. So then you had a comment there about it. Just want to talk about, so of the people polled, a little more than 50% are saying, yes, I do some method of security on my device. So whether it is just a lock screen, gesture, face unlock, whatever, or is it a full-on antivirus or anti-theft device kind of thing. So the percentage of it, yeah, just definitely a little more over half on that one there, so that people are doing that. And of those people, I would say 1/6 of those people that are doing some sort of protection are actually doing double protection. So they're actually having a screen lock and another app. So they have two apps installed, sort of to do that. So whether it's a face unlock and then they have Lookout, or they have Avast and they have a pattern unlock. The majority of those using it are using just a pattern lock. A lot of people are using Lookout. But here's some of the other options that we've seen. We're seeing Cerebrus. And I think Cerebrus was the one that had an article about this guy who got his phone stolen, and every once in a while he would take a picture of the guy who stole it, and he was directing police for it. It was this great little script of like, oh, he's over here now. So Cerebrus, Lookout, Face Unlock, Avast, AVG, Bitdefender, Screen Lock, and just antivirus. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of options there. But I look at it, there's about half of us who are not doing anything to their phone. I think it's interesting as well. So Sylvain, you had a comment on that?
Yes, I just wanted to talk quickly about an app that I will buy from the Play Store as soon as it gets updated with a new feature. It is called NFC Secure. And remember when I talked about having a chip in my neck and just get my phone like this? The thing is, if you don't have your NFC, what do you call it? Your NFC with you, you have to enter your Google password. So for me, that would be a big problem because I don't know what it is. I use the passphrase kind of thing. I'll talk about it later. And as soon as we can input a PIN instead of the Gmail password, I'll buy it. So I think that's pretty good security.
The NFC one has been interesting just because the thing is you need to have, because you can't seem to access NFC from the lock screen. It has to be, your phone has to be unlocked to use NFC. So I think if I can get a device that, I could have a watch that have my NFC chip built in, and if I turn my phone on to just tap it and it's secured, I know it's doing so. Interesting stuff. Okay, so let's move along from there and on to reviews. So this past week, I dropped 2 reviews into the blog. One was on the Motorola Razr HD LTE. Mark had reviewed this unit a while back, but this one I added in new because it now has Jelly Bean update. So just some of the new features that it had for Jelly Bean. And I got to say, it is a nice device. It is just a nice solid build. It's a little bigger, but it doesn't feel bigger. Nice, good battery on it. Great screen. So go check a look on the blog, get the reviews in there. As well as I got a chance to review the Tilt band car charger, which is that company we talked about as a QI charger. They have a bunch of other devices, and this is a nice silicone rubber ribbon cable for the car charger, which is really cool. That in Northwestern Ontario, when it gets to like minus 30 below, it's not freezing like some of the hard plastics are, and it just feels more solid and secure when it's connecting with my device. So again, that review is up on the blog. You guys can go see it, and you guys can. I put a little video of me in my car, so you can see how messy my floors are in my car.
I saw that.
And
I thought about it.
I made sure most of the garbage was gone, so don't worry.
Yeah.
So those are some of the reviews. Yeah, so some cool stuff in terms of reviews. So other than that, updates for the past week. A ton of updates. A lot of them I'm not going to talk about because a lot of them are just bug fixes and stuff like that. For what I saw this past week, Solid Explorer. Have anybody else use Solid Explorer here?
I kind of do part-time.
You use True Commander for yours, right? You like
Yes.
True Commander?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I like the FTP feature of it.
Yeah, so I use Solid Explorer. It recently updated. Now adds Sugar Sync support, better box and better drive support. I'm trying to find the details of it here so I can talk about it. Yeah, Sugar, more backup and restore settings for the different things in there. Better on creating links. So a lot of great little improvements. Box added some new features. Trying to find it here. I know one of the new features of Box was really cool that they added was the fact that if somebody sends you a link for a Box file, you have the option of adding that automatically to your Box folder as a shared item, which is really cool. I mean, it makes sense. It's like the way they do it in Google Drive, that if I send you a link for a Google Drive file, when you go into your Google Drive later, it's in your Shared With Me folder.
So what happens if you delete the original? Does it stay in mine, or is it a copy, or what? Just a link?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it would be because it would be a shared file from them, so it would be a link back to them. So if it was deleted, it's gone.
Okay.
I'm guessing. YouTube updated. YouTube's a great little feature I've been using now with my Google TV upstairs, is that I can hit the play button, I can control what's on the screen. So what's nice that they've done now is they've actually added controls in the notifications. So before I'd have to go to the app itself and hit next or pick whatever. Now I can just go from the notification shade and just tap next.
I tried
Chrome,
it tonight.
It's a nice little. It's once you start using it, it's pretty cool. Like we watched Neil Patrick Harris's Puppet Dreams. Have you ever seen those videos? We watched like the series of those, doing it. Chrome updated, some new features in Chrome, better GPU work, no blippity bloppities, and sometimes in some of the graphics you would get sometimes. Google Drive did some updates. Dash Clock, it's just a great app. It's just been taking great strides in terms of updates all the time. It updated to better features and newer features you can play around with now. You can adjust a few and customize it a bit more you want. There's even a great app out there now, I don't know if you guys have been using it yet, that you can build your own notifications and extensions for Dash Clock. So it's kind of cool. It's really taken off for those of you who use the lock screen widgets.
Yeah, I didn't try that yet.
WhatsApp has an update. It's not in the market, but
WhatsApp?
It was published with
what are some updates?
UI and
Oh yeah.
for WhatsApp.
So WhatsApp. I never really got into WhatsApp. So so Savan, tell me about WhatsApp in terms of why should I be using WhatsApp?
I use it all the time because I have friends with Blackberries, I have friends with iPhones, so they all have it. So we can message each other because I don't have a texting plan.
But so do they need to have WhatsApp as well, right? Don't they need to have WhatsApp as well?
They have WhatsApp, but my friend, for example, has a BlackBerry without a data plan, but WhatsApp is part of her bundles, so she's not paying for using it. She's not using it with data. I don't know how it works with BlackBerries, but she's not paying for it, so she can use it with me as if she's using
like texting or whatever.
Yeah,
See, that's
because I don't have
one
texting plans.
I'm always like leery of these proprietary messaging clients. I can only message you if you have the same client.
So what do you use mainly?
Personally, I try to tell everybody to get a hold of me on Google Talk. What I like about Google Talk and why I recommend it more than anything else is the fact that I can start my conversation on my phone. Somebody sends me a message, right? When I get to the office, I put my phone down and I turn the computer on.
Right.
My conversation's still there. If it's a text message, I'm on the computer. I have to go back to my phone, text back.
Yeah.
I'm back to my computer, get a text message. I have to go back to my phone. Right? I like to be able to take that conversation to my computer. Sure, you can use AirDroid or something like that to get your text messages on your screen as well.
Yeah,
But I
it's
just
not the
like
same.
I like one service. You know,
It's funny because with
encompasses multiple
iPhone,
devices.
there's a problem with iPhones because they don't really have Gtalk. They have VTalk, and it doesn't really work properly, and
Well,
so
that's
it's more of
iPhone
a
users.
hassle.
We pay
Yeah.
them the iPhone users
Well, I have
anyways.
some friends that use iPhone.
And what about Google Plus Messenger?
That's the same
I
as
barely
talk
use it.
now.
No, it's
No, it's
still
not the same.
separate
No,
for me.
when I do a talk, it rolls into talk. That's what I was saying last week because I had started.
I
the
heard you say that,
conversation.
and I tried that. I've actually mine aren't rolling in.
It does.
Like the app
It does
from
one way. Messenger rolls into talk, but
Oh, yeah?
talk does not roll into Messenger. It goes one way, but I know.
I'm testing this out right now. Cass.
One feature I really like from Google Plus Messenger is that when someone reads your message, you see a little open envelope. And I like that.
So WhatsApp has the same
Yeah.
thing. You can see when someone reads the message.
Yeah, but it's WhatsApp.
It's really good. I
Anyways,
like
okay.
it because you can
For a
share
while.
anything with it, any file, music, a video, photos. Works fast. I like it.
No, again, that's what I like. We talked about this before the Hangout too. What's really cool about Android is the fact that it doesn't you can pick whatever options you want. You're not limited to just iMessenger or whatever it is, right? So you have as many options out there. Other updates, we had Weather Channel. So we talked a while back about weather option apps. Weather Channel had a new revamped UI. SwiftKey, for those of you who are on SwiftKey Flow, the actual SwiftKey Flow is out of beta. It's now into the normal SwiftKey app. In terms of phone devices, the Galaxy S2 on Rogers got its 4.1.2 update, and then the Note, its 4.1.2 update got pushed back to mid-March now.
Oh, is that what
So-
happened? Because a friend was
Yeah.
looking for that.
Yeah, they were supposed to be out the same. They were supposed to be late January, then early February. Then it was late February, and now the Note is pushed back to late. But those are the Galaxy S2. Get your update now. Go plug it into Keys. Go get it, because if anything, 4.1.2 gives you Google Now, which I think is the greatest feature we're getting on Google Android phones right now, is because and Google Now has just been getting better and better and better. Better cards, better information all the time. And it's just really cool. And every time I pop it open, there's just very interesting things. Like I'm seeing movies show up. I'm seeing research topics show up that I'd recently searched for. So if you're on an S2, which there is millions of you out there, go get your update now. And Sylvain has a surprise update for us. Did you buy the Nexus 4? Did you guys pressure him enough to get the S4?
I
Give us
did
a-
not.
It has nothing to do with devices. No, it's an app. Nothing exciting, I'm sure, for anybody except me. Remember, I was talking about my Gmail password that I don't remember. I do recognize it when I see it, but I cannot say what my password is because I use Hashit. You know, that little app that generates a site-specific password from a secret master key. So it's been updated this week, and guess WhatsApp. They use a dark theme now, so I'm so happy. You know, before it was all white, and when I use it, you're like, you know, everything's white, everything's dark on my phone except that app. But now it's using a dark theme. The other cool thing is that it shows now a master key digest. So when I type my passphrase, it shows two little letters or numbers. So how do you say that? It displays a cryptographic digest of the master key to ease detecting typographic errors. Because your password, you don't see it as you type. So
Okay.
instead, it shows you, those little characters. So I thought it was really interesting.
That's cool. A nice little reminder if you know your type is. So if a smiley face with something else shows up from the side, then you know that you're typing it incorrectly,
Yeah.
properly. Then.
So that was my surprise. I'm really excited about it.
That is a good surprise, though.
Cool. All right, so that's our topics here so far. I'm looking through some of the comments that we're getting on here. Not much in terms of people saying anything right yet. But again, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, by all means, jump in. Otherwise, as soon as we're done here, we've got one little bit left to go, and then we'll be open for the open part of it and let anybody in, and we can chat about whatever we want to chat about. Now we come to the part of the show where we do App Coliseum. And remember, our App Coliseum is our chance to show off to you what are some cool apps this week. A way to share, and for me, a little bit of voyeuristic in terms of what are the apps I know I should be using, because you get stale and stagnant for a while. You may not try some new stuff. So it's a chance to really see what's out there. Sometimes we've done an App Coliseum where it's free for all. Anybody picks any app they want to try out. Sometimes we've done them tied into our poll. Sometimes we have somebody pick their top 3. And this week we're going to have Cass who's going to show off to us her top 3 apps. So I'll turn it over to you, Cass.
Okay, well, I'm not actually going to show them. I'm just going to talk about them. So because I just flashed my Nexus, I thought, well, this is a good chance for me to see what I want on it and what I don't want on it, because I used Carbon for backup and had to download everything. So one thing that I really like having on my phone, and I have it on my tablets as well, is the Slingbox app. We got a Slingbox probably 5 or 6 years ago, long enough ago that we had to order it online. So what you do is you connect it up to your phone, up to your TV or whatever, and we have it connected to our digital box. And then you can watch TV or what's on your PVR or whatever on your phone from wherever you are. So it was kind of cool. We went on holidays. I came back. We had a 6-hour layover in the airport. So I just sat and caught up on all my television. So that's one of the apps I like. And
there's a tablet version as well as a phone version. Just
there
let everybody
is,
know.
but I use my phone version on everything. And I have to say, when I first got it, I was on Windows 6.5, and when I moved from device to device, they cut off one device. It was a license for one device. I have the same app on all 3 of my devices, so it's kind of nice not to have to drop that $15 3 times. I'm not sure it's worth $45. So my next app is Shaw Go Wi-Fi, and that is mostly, I think, for out west. I don't know. Do you guys have Shaw out there?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I was just hanging out with the Shaw guys yesterday, and we were talking about they changed from XO to Go.
well, okay, because I thought they just changed to XO. Anyways, well, Shaw is starting to have a public Wi-Fi available, only it's not really public. You log in with your home account. So what the Shaw Go Wi-Fi does is it lets you find nearby hotspots. And if you go and register in your account, if you go and put your MACs in for your different devices, then as soon as you see that network, you just log on. You jump on. You don't have to log in or anything. And it's a much better connection than you can get with free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's even a better connection than what I have at home.
Oh. Oh.
I know.
Well, I was using it at the airport when I was there that time hanging out. That was what I was using it. It's a very smooth.
Yeah.
It's very good. Like I've used the free Wi-Fi at Starbucks, and it's like, yeah. So that was my second app, and my third one is that Unlock with Wi-Fi. Like I'm like Ryan, if I'm at home, I don't care if my stuff is locked. I just want my stuff to lock when I'm not home, and I'm getting old and forgetful. So I'd rather just have it automatically lock when I'm not at home. So I use that Unlock with Wi-Fi. With the purchased app, you can you can have several home networks. So I have like our home network, I have my mobile network as an unlock, and I also have like if I go to my parents' house stuff. So that's pretty handy. So those are my 3 apps. There's a lot of other things that I put on, like when I always make sure I have Dropbox. I always make sure I install Swipe. But these are just 3 apps that aren't usually up for argument because there's not a lot of alternatives.
They're your first 3 you put on the thing.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi unlock it's called Unlock with Wi-Fi. Is that the one?
Yep.
I'm just looking on the thing. Okay. So
By
Cass-
Ben Hiroshima.
yeah.
Cass, what do you mean you put in your favorites your mobile network? Is it as soon as you turn your data on, you're unlocked? Is that what you mean?
No, when I use my phone as a hotspot,
Okay.
then on my tablet is unlocked.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just putting the links up on our page right now for everybody, those who are following along. So our options. So you guys
we have
can
a
go
really
click them
old
and
Sling box, but they've been updated. They look pretty funky now, and they have a wireless one as well, so you don't have to worry about trying to hook it into your Wi-Fi network.
very cool.
For your Sling box, Cass, do you absolutely need to have a digital TV?
Excuse me a moment. No. Actually, the Sling box works kind of weird. The one that we have. Like it's got 2 little IR things, so it's actually physically sending a signal.
Mm-hmm.
So you could watch your TV if your TV is hooked up to it and you've got your little IR pointed at your TV, then you can watch your TV. But we have a PVR, so we have it set on our PVR. And it's really handy because we only have 1 TV in our house because we're just that kind of people. But usually it's being used to watch movies, so I can watch TV.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. I was looking to buy one at some point, but I still have analog TV. You know, just basic cable with no digital, no nothing.
Yeah,
I don't think it works now.
As long as
Is it still available here in Quebec? I think they stopped it.
What, Slingbox?
Analog TV.
No, you have to have
Analog
digital. You get digital signals now, so you need a box if you have an old TV. But I think as long as you don't have one of those click old TVs, like if you have a remote, you can use this, I think.
Because I know me, I can just plug my cable into the TV and I'm watching TV now.
Right.
No, nothing in between.
But do you have any of those? Do you have those 3 outlets at the back? Or, you know, so
like
you can...
The old antenna, the VHF cable stuff ones, no.
No, like where you would plug in a video game or something.
Or
like
RCA connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
What about your Google TV? Because
I don't have a Google TV. I have the...
you need HDMI for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a HDMI, but...
Anyway, I like the fact that you picked the Shaw Go Wi-Fi is one, actually, because I was at the Shaw location in town the other day, and I was talking to him because they only have like 1 hotspot in our city, and he's like, yeah, because it used to be Shaw EXO Wi-Fi or whatever.
Okay.
Now it's just called Shaw Go. As soon as they changed the logo, they rebranded a bunch of things, they said, and they're really looking at going further wide. Like they're talking about in our city going a lot further over a bunch of different areas. And what's nice that, you know what, you could go, you know, if you switching routers to routers, and it would be, you get still the same coverage with no handoff, you know, or loss of signal connection between it with handoffs. And the rep was saying, like, he was in Calgary the other day, and, you know, one end of the mall to the other, or one end of like this one, you know, marketplace he was at, full coverage. He's like, you know, if I had a good VoIP connection, you know, using good VoIP for my phone, I wouldn't need a data plan at all. I would just be able to sit there and just use the data connection for that. So,
but I think
it's a cool little feature.
I think that's their intention, because remember last year, maybe the year before, they had said they were going to get into the cell business.
They were going to buy a Spectrum.
The data. They said they were going to get into the data business, and I think then they decided it was too expensive. But I think this is what they're doing: is they're going with Wi-Fi. and you'll just use your home coverage to get on.
There's one big problem with that, with the app, is that if you don't have a data plan, or if you're just offline like me most of the time, you can just go into the app and find a hotspot, because to load the map, it doesn't cache it at all. You need a data connection.
But if you're in an area that has, I found that one at the airport because I just scanned. I didn't go into the app. I just scanned and showed up. So I just clicked on it and I got in.
Yeah, I find that sometimes it takes a little while before Shaw Open shows up in your Wi-Fi settings.
Oh.
You see everything else around it, and after like 30 seconds, poof, it's there. Oh, it's available,
Yeah. I'm just trying to think whether I saw it right away or not. Mm-hmm. Maybe, but you've got your devices registered as well, right?
Yes.
So it should just show up.
It should.
The registering part is really nice.
Automatically show up, right? It should automatically show up once you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, so thanks, Cass, for showing off your top three. I think I've always said for me to pick a top three, I think I'd be very hard pressed. What are my top three must-have apps? But it's good to get an insight into everybody else and how they're using theirs. I always like, because again, like I said, I like to find out what am I not doing that I should be doing more with my phone. And we pay a lot of money for these devices. Let's make sure we get every little red cent out of it we can, even though we don't really have pennies anymore in Canada. So that's our show for today. Short and sweet. And the point is, guys, let's have a conversation. So let's hear your thoughts and comments and suggestions and critiques and positivity with the Android enthusiasm. So comment on our blog, comment on our page, comment on the YouTube, or tell you what, as soon as we hit the off-air button on here, we're going to be posting that link that you guys can just hop on here and chat with us here. So enjoy the rest of the Friday evening with some other Canadian Android enthusiasts. So thanks for watching, and if you're watching this, you can watch this on later. We'll have the MP3, MP4, all that available for you to watch and listen to later. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys next Friday, number 18, on March the 1st. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Good night.
See ya.